in our nation's capital.
Yes, the United States is a country governed by laws, and the citizens therein are expected to abide by those laws so that we have peace and freedom and security for all citizens, not just for those that think they can buck the law.
The police are part of a racist, hetero-patriarchal, heterosexist system. We have to comply.
So you're giving in to the racist, heteropatriarchal, heterosexist system and complying with the law? Wow, what real revolutionaries we got going on here, folks.
I identify as transgender.
I identify as an Amazon gift card, because then everyone will want me.
And I will tell you, it was one of the most difficult decisions I have ever made in my life.
I'm sure you tell everyone you possibly can how difficult a decision it was.
And there are many other women, men, and individuals out there who also identify as transgender and are literally scared for their lives.
Those people are unreasonable and should calm down.
Then we need to make sure that being so close to the White House is safe for our students.
How is being close to the White House not safe for your students? What do you imagine is going to happen once Trump takes office? Do you imagine death squads marching through the streets of D.C. and targeting you? What exactly are you afraid of?
The George Washington University is to become a sanctuary for undocumented students.
George Washington University is to become a sanctuary for undocumented students? Are they going to hide in the campus or something? Why does it have to be? And why do you get to make that decision? And how is that legal or fair to anyone who's actually playing by the rules in this country?
Elect, we reject the president-elect. We reject the president-elect. We reject the president-elect. We reject the president-elect.
That is perfectly within your right to reject the president-elect, at least rhetorically. But in reality, he is the president-elect. He will be president on January 20th, and at least half of the country disagrees with you. So you do not represent a majority, as much as you might want to think that you do.
Hey guys, this goes out to all the women in this crowd.
Did she say this goes out to all the women in the crowd? Well, how very sexist of you.
I'm here as a black queer woman.
You stand there as three labels strung together. Okay, good for you. I am a military attack helicopter. And look at these guys hugging each other in the front of the frame. You'd think somebody died. I mean, I hope nobody died. I hope they're not hugging because somebody died, but could we get any more melodramatic about the situation? You're more than just one-dimensional things, yet you stand there as a queer black woman. Okay, well, give as many labels as you'd like, that's still pretty one-dimensional, because it does not determine anything about who you are as a person. It does not describe the content of your character. And that's about as one-dimensional as you can get.
And what I want and need right now is for Donald Trump's administration to give me the rights and the respect that have been stripped from me and so many others.
First and foremost, you are not given respect. You have to earn respect. Secondly, I'm very curious to know what rights you are currently being denied. What rights have been stripped from you before the president-elect even takes office? All right, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 years under a Trump administration. I don't know what the Supreme Court will decide next week, let alone 4 years from now. But I'll tell you what, Roe v. Wade has had a pretty long track record of surviving some pretty hardline Republicans over the years. I mean, if fundamentalist Christian George W. Bush couldn't have it overturned, I'd be surprised if atheist Donald Trump got it overturned. or if the Supreme Court chosen by him did so. It's possible. It's not impossible. But I would be exceedingly surprised, given how much precedent has been built over the decades, if Roe v. Wade was overturned this time around.
And my parents own a home in a county in Maryland where the socioeconomic class allows my white neighbors to only utilize microaggressions, not full-fledged racism, just microaggressions.
Their socioeconomic class allows them to use microaggressions. Not full-fledged racism, but microaggressions. So racism is reserved for the poor? And if your parents own a house amongst these same white neighbors who are so well off that they can only use microaggressions, I'm assuming then your family isn't poor?
I am privileged.
Well, I'm glad at least you're willing to admit that, but you understand that privilege comes with the money, not with the skin color. Or do you understand that?
Because I refuse.
They cut her off before she could explain where her privilege was derived from. I was really curious to know what confession she was about to make to the crowd of zealots before her.
I refuse to pay attention to the toxic masculinity that was being thrown at me by all the media.
You just acknowledged all of the quote-unquote toxic masculinity that was thrown at you by the media. You have a bullhorn in your hand, and you're telling an entire crowd of people about the toxic masculinity that was being thrown at you by the media. You're obviously paying attention to the toxic masculinity that is being thrown at you by the media, as if there was any to begin with, which you haven't shown, but do go on.
Deportation! Education, not deportation! Education, not deportation!
Education, not deportation. Well, I suppose if you're in the country legally, you can get one and not have to worry about the other.
I came to the United States because I wanted a better future. I didn't come here to take no damn job.
You came to this country for a better future. You are a student, I am assuming, at one of the top-tier colleges in the nation that has a tuition on average of $50,000 per year. Your future is going to be far better off than most of the people in this country, granted you utilize the opportunities presented you, and not because you expect to be handed things just because you showed up. Okay, folks, that is all there is to look at. That was pretty much the entire video, save for a little bit of crowd noise that I took out. I apologize for the choppiness of the original video, but that is how they decided to do their edits, so I had to go along with it. In any case, thanks for watching.